everybody. When I first heard about this great initiative, I was so surprised that so many of y'all have already started thinking about, your career paths, your future goals. I think it's absolutely wonderful. Uh, I can't say how privileged I am to be amongst such bright students and wonderful panelists. My sincere apologies that I could not be physically present at the venue. Uh, I've always preferred a question and answer kind of a format when I'm interacting because I believe that provides me the opportunity to talk about things that are most relevant to you. So to make the most of this opportunity, I have modeled this session in a kind of a Q&A format basis, so that I hope to answer all the questions that you would have had in case I had been there. These questions are generally the questions that I hear, when I interact with enthusiastic students like you all. But before we get serious, I am tempted to make a legal disclaimer. Do you know how some ads, state that everything mentioned here is subject to market risk? So, what is the visual image that comes to mind when somebody says, he or she is doing CA? This visual representation that you've seen in the previous slide need not necessarily be the case. Um, More often than not, it's the student's wish and the student's own making. Let me quote an incident from my personal life. After finishing 10 plus 2, I was pursuing MEC in LFJC. I joined BCom in Aurora's degree college, and at the same time, I joined CA as well. So many people advised me against it. They're like, you have to focus on CA, it's an extremely difficult course, you have to know what to focus on. And I was like, yes, I have seen too many movies and I do not want to, lose focus on my college life. So, yes, it is true that I did top my BCom and I did get all India ranks in all the three, CA examinations. But I would also like to state that I did participate in a lot of competitions. In Aurora, we had a lot of extracurricular activities, be it debates, conferences, competitions, events. Personally, I've learned Kuchipudi. I love dancing and I like playing sports like badminton. So my only sincere request to you, all of you, is don't make academics your sole aim. Getting a rank or first rank or something like that. You should definitely also explore other interests in your life. It can be a lot of things. You can go trekking, any other activities, traveling, singing, music. It's extremely important. Um, so because I only make this mention so many times because so often people ask me what is the procedure to get a rank, and my only answer to them is if you're pursuing a course and your only focus is getting a first rank or a number, then I'm sorry to say, but that's the sure short way of not achieving it. Rank is important, definitely it is a great achievement, but you also have to realize the fact that it is a you know an indicator of how you have performed with amongst your peers. It's a relative performance measure, if you must say so. So yes, academics achievement and everything is important, but more important is the subject knowledge. If you focus on understanding the concepts, I can guarantee you will definitely shine in the practical world, and applying that knowledge will be of actual use to you. Having said that, the mantras that I believe in are smart work and presentation skills. So, smart work is the ability to combine hard work plus time management. There is absolutely no substitute for hard work. However, I believe it has to be tempered with time management and prioritization. For instance, there are so many things that you want to do in a particular day or in a particular activity, but there is only so much of limited time. So you should definitely prioritize and take care not to miss out on the most important aspects. That's what I mean when I say smart work. For instance, when you're taking, studying for an examination, say, tax examination for, CA, there is no way you could, practically read each and every page, for that particular examination. So it's extremely and highly important that you do your research. You know, what are the priority areas, and have chalk out a plan of action, and then follow that schedule diligently. It's extremely important to follow that. You can actually, practice this in your daily life as well. For example, in a work life there are so many things that you have to do. So sometimes when I feel bogged down by work, I find it extremely useful to bucket activities: important, not important; urgent, not urgent. So basically then you realize where you're spending most of your time. Is it on the not so important tasks or the not so urgent tasks? And this is also helps you plan for the next day, so that something that's probably not that important today, or not that urgent today, and you could have spent a little more time on it, just suddenly becomes important and urgent, and you might or might not be able to spend time on it. So that's important. Plus, another extremely important skill set to have is presentation skills. I'm here right now, in front of you, I'm presenting. And when you're answering questions in an examination, that's also presentation. Now, what I mean by presentation is, I am not referring to making of fancy PPTs. I mean, that's not the end goal or the aim. The aim is the basically the ability to concisely present information in a manner that that is understandable to the recipient. So, for example, you are solving an answer in an examination, and you just work out everything in your head and you just put the end answer. Obviously that will not fetch you anything. The way you have come to that conclusion, the assumptions, the working out in a logical and sequential manner, all this is extremely important. Only then you're able to drive across the point that you have understood the concept, and you're able to come to the end solution. And this is something that everybody has to work upon, definitely, and it'll be very useful in every facet of life. Another question that I am often asked is, why World Bank after CA? So basically, when I was, pursuing articleship, my friends and I, we used to do a little bit of community service, albeit it was on a small scale. So we would teach uh, poor children, how to read and write, and educate girl children about health and sanitation. So it was a wonderful experience, and given my background in finance and this non-profit organization's work that I was doing, I wanted to pursue a career working for international development organizations. And that's how the whole search for opportunities in World Bank came about. I was based in Chennai, and working in World Bank is actually a dream come true for me, because it's a wonderful opportunity. You get to work in a multicultural environment. You get to learn a lot about the processes. And so basically, let me explain to you what we do at World Bank. So basically, World Bank is committed towards sustainable development. It gives loans only to countries. And so I had the opportunity of working on a variety of a diverse portfolio of very interesting countries, like from Middle East to North Africa, like Iraq, Zambia, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, countries in South Asia as well. So, and I've conducted workshops for people from Bhutan and Sri Lanka, and I have been to Zambia for about 2 months for an assignment. So this experience of working in a multicultural environment, and dealing with development on a global scale, the fact that I could do this, so it's basically I was trying to match my skill set with what I love to do. And I wanted to work in development organization, and I was working predominantly a finance role. It was a wonderful experience. So the different career options available for commerce students are MBA, chartered accountancy, cost accountancy, company secretary, CFA. Apart from that, you can also explore a lot of careers in marketing, advertising, banking, business consulting, and law. Um, you know, the reason why I chose CA and MBA, I'll definitely come to it later. But so the point is, you need not see, these are the career choices in specific fields that you have. Apart from that, there are so many things that you would like to do, probably based on your interest. Like, I'm a CA, but I chose to have a career in development. And then I wanted to, narrow it down to healthcare. And, that's when I did an MBA. And I chose to work, right now I'm working in a vaccines company. So it's basically about how you were able to match your skill sets with the job's requirements. Another question that I'm often asked is, why MBA after CA? First and foremost, CA has helped me gain in-depth knowledge of accountancy, tax, and assurance. The articleship is also a unique practical learning experience, but overall it was more of a self-study exercise. I haven't taken any coaching for CA. Except law from Mr. Jairaman sir and MAFA from Shraddhesh sir. So so basically MBA was this the first and foremost requirement that I had was, it was not a job seeking exercise. It was basically a wonderful opportunity for me to study in a quality environment with like minded people, that basically fostered managerial education. So and the practical aspect of it, in World Bank, the major sectors that I had worked with and really liked working on were infrastructure, health, and education. So basically I chose subjects, obviously I majored in finance, but I chose subjects specific to these areas, and because I wanted to join the industry in either of these three sectors. And so here I am right now working as an EA to MD of Biological E Limited, and I am proud to say that our company produces vaccines and pharmaceuticals, and our mission is to improve the health and survival of people and to contribute to the societies we serve. So the whenever people ask me the question, is it possible to enjoy work, and the answer is an emphatic yes, definitely. If you have a clear goal of what you want to achieve, what you want to do, and you believe in the role and the organization that you're working for, I believe it's a wonderfully enriching experience, because this experience has basically taught me that I can give back to society, but at the same time find so much of happiness, joy, in what work I am doing, and have the satisfaction also of a job well done. So here I am, a CA and an MBA who's making a career in development and healthcare. My advice regarding career choices, is only one simple mantra: be true to your beliefs and goals. Uh, the most important thing is understanding your place in the whole value chain, and I take the liberty of quoting an article which it's a true story that was reported, and it really stands out in my mind. A tourist, after having lunch from a restaurant, was coming outside, and then he just passes by the dishwasher room, and he sees this man who's washing all these dirty dishes, and he was singing very happily, and he's doing his work as if he's actually enjoying it. And now this tourist was extremely surprised. I mean, washing dishes is akin to drudgery, so he didn't understand why he was so happy. So he just walked up to the man and he asked him, you know what's the reason, is there any special occasion that you're happy? And the the answer is still to this day, it stays with me. The man replied to him that he is doing the most important job in the whole restaurant, and that's because he gets all these dirty dishes and he cleans them, and his job is the one that ensures that the whole restaurant is clean, and a healthy customer is a happy customer. So basically the article is about the fact that you should understand, the whole picture, plus also the fact that, what is your role in the value chain. And that takes me to, the choice that, we students have to make regarding, life impacting career choices. Some jobs, for whatever reason, they seem extremely glorified. There are but, you have to realize the fact that probably, you will find success and contentment on a different career path. And success need not only be defined by, monetary value. It can also be the work that you do, the recognition that you get in the place, so many things. It is extremely important to marry your personal beliefs, skills, and views to any chosen profession's requirements. This was a very interesting slide that I wanted to share with all of you. The audience can be divided into three groups: those who understand the sermon, those who do not understand the sermon, and those who realize that there is nothing to understand. So, jokes apart, Mark Twain said that, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed with the things that you don't do than the things that you did. So, I just want to, tell you to focus on a balanced, successful life. And I use the word balanced before the word successful because it's very important that, you focus on your family, your friends, your physical health, your mental health. Make sure they are all in, order before you run after a, a number, a goal. Because what's the whole point of, being in the rat race if you don't have family and friends to share it with? So, take a chill pill. and I believe, the timing of this presentation is such that I'm the only one standing, between you and your lunch. So I just want to tell you, have fun, bunk a few classes, not always, don't quote me, and understand why you're doing something. How do you fit into the value chain? Does it identify with your goals, your personal beliefs? Be true to yourself. And so, wish you all the very best and have a great and a wonderful career ahead. Thank you.